hood champion boxing and sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Hey, look, man. Look, Deontay Wilder, I'm a little agitated right now, right? But Deontay Wilder is working hard to become a two-time heavyweight champion. And anyone who follows this channel, you know, my two favorite boxers were Zab Judah and Chris Bird, right? Watching Zab Judah and Chris Bird, I learned a lot. Especially how to get that damn left hand uppercut off. Zab Judah, right? But anyway, when it comes to Deontay Wilder, you know, I respect the fact that he and Malik Scott, you know, kind of have mixed emotions on that relationship. I know that they're very close, but sometimes I wonder just if Malik Scott knows when to pull the trigger to tell Deontay Wilder that's not it, or knows when to say, okay, that's it. But to give an honest assessment to what he calls his brother, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes, man, you just gotta be brutally honest with somebody. But that being said, to see that they're working and trying to get better, and you're seeing some improvements, at least in the mid work and some of the lateral movement. Still got some work to do on the footwork, but you can see that they're working and they're getting better. So Deontay Wilder getting back to the top of the heavyweight division, right? I think Deontay Wilder is always one right hand away from being at the top of whatever the hell he does when it comes to fighting. You know what I'm saying? He's just a special fighter. I don't think anyone can disagree with that. But you know, when people come out and say stuff like, Deontay Wilder can't fight, Deontay Wilder fought a bunch of tomato cans, and Deontay Wilder fought a bunch of bums, and Luis Ortiz got robbed, and the Tyson Fury fights, it's all excuses on Wilder's side. You know what, man? They said Mayweather. To this day, you got clowns out here who see Mayweather cherry pick people. And I'm gonna tell you something right now. Mayweather, anyone who says something bad on Mayweather, you're a cockerel. I understand some people feel a kind of way about the first Castillo fight. Some people feel a kind of way about the first Maidana fight. But when a fight is so close like that, to me, it doesn't. I don't see the argument there. You know what I'm saying? We can always have a conversation, but look, even if Castillo would have won the first fight, hey, no argument. It was a close fight. It goes either way, right? We all have a different lens in how we see fights, so it is what it is. But you see, I'm about to tell you about this Ryan Garcia guy. But first, I want to bring up something else, right? You see, when you got punchers, right, just God-gifted power. Tommy Morrison, right? Man, that's another fighter that drives me crazy when people say Tommy Morrison couldn't fight. Hold your horses. He was another guy. Serious punching power. Ray Mercer, serious punching power. They're not in there floating like a butterfly, stinging like a bee. But they're doing things right. Look, just because a guy comes forward and is not using a whole lot of lateral movement and slipping and sliding all the shots and using angles and getting inside, that doesn't mean that the guy is just a brawler who just relies on one punch. There's a lot more than just throwing a right hand or throwing a hook. You got to set traps, set your opponent up. You understand? There's timing involved. There's so much involved with being able to get off that shot that can change the fight and end the fight. So when it comes to a guy like Wilder, a guy like Tommy Morrison, a guy like Ray Mercer, you know, it just annoys me when I hear people just come out here and just say these guys have no talent, these guys couldn't fight, because you're talking about Wilder medaled and so did Ray Mercer. So let's hold the horses. But back on this whole thing about Wilder, getting back to the top. I'm just gonna tie this in here, right? Ryan Garcia, right? What medal did he win in the Olympics? Somebody want to enlighten me? What medal did Ryan win in the Olympics? I know he had a lot of accomplishments as an amateur. But what did he do in the Olympics? Somebody want to tell me? What did Deontay Wilder do in the Olympics? Pick up a little bronze medal. When did Ryan Garcia start fighting? Okay, 7 years old, 6 years old. When did Deontay Wilder start fighting? 17, 18, 19, something like that? 18, something crazy? 19? Right? How many how many belts has Ryan Garcia won, and how long has he held on to them, and how many title defenses has he made? I'm talking about the belts that matter. Okay. What about a Wilder? How many years? Right? So Ryan Garcia had a lot to say. And the reason I want to point it out is because there's no comparison between Deontay Wilder and his position as far as history, legacy, when it comes to boxing, right? There's no comparison. So I don't think Ryan Garcia has earned the right to come now and sit here and say whether he feels a guy like Deontay Wilder can or cannot fight. I'm going to play something to you. You just listen to this. Because you got under my skin, man. It's the same guy who was out here, man, advocate, mental health. People are mean to me. I've been bullied my whole life. I got big ears. I think I still have big ears now. To this day, people still think I can't fight. They still try me. I still go through it. I just can't escape the bullying. I don't know what to do. Well, learn to shut your mouth. Check this out.
Like, nah, I'm not gonna let that play a part. No, but I mean, Deontay, that dude, he can't fight, but he got a right hand.
It's so strong.
It's from somewhere else.
Like, it's not from
That's
this
gifted.
world, right? Like,
that's truly gifted. And he knows, obviously, he understands the position he has to be to land a shot. But man, some of the stuff he does is funny.
Y'all hear that? Y'all hear that? Now, you can go out there and watch this interview. There's a guy. This guy just did this interview, man. It's out there on YouTube. If you put in Ryan Garcia clowns Deontay Wilder, Ryan Garcia talks about Gervonta Davis, whatever. It's just done today, right? But he's out here making fun of Deontay Wilder. Let me tell you something. The direction Deontay Wilder is going, career-wise, right, is somewhere Ryan Garcia is nowhere near. People are talking about Ryan Garcia is about to become the face of boxing if he beats Tank. Okay, he gets a good win. But he's still, in my opinion, there's just two different categories here. And I just think that it's annoying that he wants to sit there and take shots at Deontay Wilder. I really don't know what's so funny about it. Maybe because I've been really paying attention to Deontay Wilder's career and knowing why this man got into the sport of boxing. Like, that hits home with me, you know what I'm saying? Whole thing about his daughter. See this man traveling on a private jets with all of his kids on the jet, everybody there falling asleep. Like everybody wants to sit there, man. A lot of people want to sit there and just try to break the man down. Don't get me wrong. If he does something, and I'm going to comment on it. I'm not going to always agree with things. Sometimes I still question the relationship with Malik Scott and Wilder, and I don't think Malik Scott should be trying to turn a lion into a pussycat. I say that all the time. Let Deontay Wilder keep things simple. Blind him with the left hand, come back with the right, work on the hook, but trying to make him fancy feet and make him dancing feet. You know what I'm saying? That's not what I think Deontay Wilder should do. But you can see there's a process. But for what he came into the sport of boxing to do, I don't think there's anything funny about that. Even a guy like Luis Ortiz and his story, and the fact that they had the issues with the child, man. And there are other fighters out there, man, who come into the sport trying to change the lives of their families, and for their kids, you know what I'm saying? And then especially when you hear those stories about guys who really come out of poverty, you know what I mean? Like, those things, they just hit home with me. But when you sit here and you get a guy like Ryan Garcia, who he had, man, I tell you what, Ryan Garcia came out here and was talking all this stuff about boxing and people being mean to him and mental health and pulling out of fights. Everyone converged on him and was rooting this man on and just trying to give him the support because, that mental health is serious. There's a bozo guy who's a content creator, unboxing. I can't stand that dude. I'll never say his name on here. I gotta watch it because, you know, man, my PTSD will flare up, man. It can get real ugly. And I'm not even, you know, I don't even like to talk like that. But when I heard that guy making fun of, he was making fun of Jamal, I think it was Jamal Charlo, about some of the mental health struggles and, you know, just ups and downs in his personal life. I didn't like that. You know what I'm saying? And he was being real ignorant, man. And I had to catch myself and understand that I don't know these people, they don't know me. This is social media. But the stuff he was saying, it just hit home with me because I know what that mental health stuff, I know how serious it is. But to see, you know, everyone coming together to try to kumbaya for Ryan Garcia, and he takes an opportunity when they put a camera in front of his face to come down, man, and say things about Deontay Wilder. And I can tell you right now, Deontay Wilder is probably going to come out here and just say something real simple like bless his heart or something like that. But when he sees him, he may have a conversation with him because he has every right to sit there and talk to Ryan Garcia and impart some wisdom to him and say, look, what you're doing, you know, this is kind of the same thing that people are doing to you. You know what I mean? When you get an opportunity to say something about somebody, that don't mean you have to say something negative. You know what I'm saying? If you have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. But for me, with Deontay Wilder and everything, really looking at the position he's in now, I hope he gets back to the top. I tell you I do, because anyone who follows the channel, you know that I strongly believe there was some foul play with them damn Fury fights. I'm not going to rehash all that. But to see someone come out here and say that, you know, he does funny things or he can't fight, let me tell you something. There were a lot of people who, I feel like more people say Deontay Wilder can't fight now after those 3 Fury fights than before those 3 Fury fights. There were people, when Deontay Wilder fought Bermain Stavern, right, in that first fight, you heard people talking about, man, he can go the distance, man, he can box. We didn't know he could really do that because the Bermain Stavern Deontay Wilder fought was a committed, in shape Bermain Stavern, right? He wasn't this damn big bowl of potato salad that he evolved into. You know, who went in there and got himself lambasted in fights after he fought Ariola and Deontay Wilder. That's not the same Bermain Stavern. But that second Bermain Stavern fight, I remember people talking about Deontay Wilder jab. He got a jab like Larry Holmes. Talking about how fast it was, the Larry Holmes-like jab. Then how he came with the big right hand. Then he stood there in the ring like a statue. And they just bing, bing, bing. And damn near killed Stavern. Right? Everybody praising his athleticism, his boxing ability, his IQ, the speed, the accuracy. These are the things they were saying. Gets in there with Tyson Fury. Nobody had anything positive to say about him. Fought Luis Ortiz, people had good things to say about him. You know, Ortiz was out boxing him, I can't argue that. But Deontay Wilder showed that there's a little more to him than just the right hand. But then he got, of course, the right hand, and he got it off, and he clipped Luis Ortiz in 2 fights. But he gets in with Tyson Fury, and all of a sudden, all these horrible things are being said about him. Then, of course, it didn't really help because people don't really understand the stuff that's taking place. If you watch that video I did a while back about the real story about Tyson Fury and Wilder and what happened, it'll make you wonder exactly what happened in them damn fights too. And people, you know, till this day, then when they get an opportunity, they want to clown Wilder. And all of a sudden now, because he says he feels Tyson Fury cheated, or he knows he cheated, and there are other people out there who share that same sentiment, people who know things at different positions, I'm going to say even who are part of the secret society, who even tired of Tyson Fury's crap, who are having a conversation with Deontay Wilder, and they're like, look, we know what's going on. We know what happened. But Deontay Wilder, I know you can tell he wants to say it. Like, it's shit, he's emitting it out of the pores in his skin. Like, he's just oozing, you know what I mean? Like frustration, and you can tell he's just, Deontay Wilder is one emotional rant away from coming out and saying everything that he wants. You can see he catches himself. And I want to hear it, to be honest with you. But to know what he went through in those 3 fights, and to have people, end up now with a microphone in their face like Ryan Garcia. They want to come and say he can't fight and say these other things about him, man. It's just really annoying. And I really feel like, you know, Tyson Fury can box, right? And I got to be honest, Tyson Fury can fight. But I'm telling y'all, I don't think the playing field was level. And as a result of it not being level, Deontay Wilder was made to look less than an average boxer. And it made him look almost cartoonish and comical to a lot of his peers and a lot of the fans in the boxing community. But if that playing field would have been level, we wouldn't even have had a second or third fight. Just being real with you. And in that second fight, if the playing field would have been level, the outcome wouldn't have been what it was. And in the third fight, if the playing field would have been level, the outcome would have been what it was. All right. Now, I'm not going to get into all that. What I'm saying is, as a result of just those 3 fights with Tyson Fury, I think that kind of hurt Deontay Wilder's. I think that's hurt his stock a little bit. But he came back with Hellenius. Back to normal, back to business. Okay? Now he has another fight he's getting ready for. To be honest with you, no one really knows. Ngannou's supposed to be doing some, he's fighting in, I don't know if it's a Bellator or something, so I don't think Wilder's fighting Ngannou next. Then you talk about Andy Ruiz. Not sure if it's that. So at this point in time, who knows who the hell Deontay Wilder's fighting next? But we know he's back in there training. He's getting ready for something or someone. And I'm going to be honest with you. I fully expect Deontay Wilder to pick up where he left off. And the first Fury fight where he knocked Fury out cold before Jack Reese dropped down and damn near French kissed him, right? And where he picked up with Hellenius. Knocked him out in the first round. So I think Deontay Wilder in his next fight is going to continue with his knockouts. But I'm going to tell you this right now. We're going to see how things go because Deontay Wilder still has 4 or 5 fights left in him. And if he goes into these next 4 or 5 fights and he brutally knocks out the next 4 or 5 opponents, I think only then will people sit back and say, you know what? How in the world was Tyson Fury, right? He got knocked out in the first fight, but then was able to avoid that mash-up, crash-up in the second fight. And how was he able to push through that mash-up, crash-up in the third fight? I think only then will people start to really look back and start to have these conversations that we're talking about now, to where I'll sit here, man, and talk about some of these things. And some people would say, oh, you're biased, he's your favorite fighter. Oh, it's and then there are a couple guys who come and say some really off the cuff stuff, and I delete those comments because you know that's not what my channel's about. I believe love all, hate none. I don't get caught up in nothing to deal with no goddamn race, no religion, no political affiliation, no financial status, nothing. I don't care. It means nothing to me. You understand? When I talk about boxing, if I'm sitting there saying something positive about an athlete that happens to be Filipino, it could just say Asian. Doesn't mean that I'm pro-Asian. I happen to be black. I mean I'm pro-black. White don't mean I'm pro-white. I'm pro-boxing, man. Right? So hold your horses. Don't take it to the stupid. But any of those comments come across my way, I delete it. And I'm trying to learn how to block people because I don't want you to. I don't need 100,000 subscribers on here that's gonna talk that foolishness, man. I don't care. I'm a retired guy. I'm alright. These other guys do this shit because they need it. I enjoy this. But I don't need nonsense, man. And when it comes to that whole thing with Deontay Wilder, I really think down the road, especially if he continues to destroy people, that's when we're going to sit back and have a real conversation about him. And I think he's going to get back to he's going to pick up some hardware. And we're going to sit back and say, damn, this man became 2-time heavyweight champion. And some people are going to probably say, you know what, he probably should have never lost. And that's when they're going to peel the layers back. Because I tell you what, with time, the truth will reveal itself. And we're going to see exactly what the truth is. I already have a hunch based on a whole lot of research I've done and things that I've identified. But I'm going to tell you right now, Usyk, we're going to see how long he can hold on to those belts. He's going to fight Dubois. He's trying to fight Wilder. Dubois doesn't like, he wants to step aside. Frank Warren doesn't want him to step aside, right? So Usyk and Dubois, Usyk should beat him. And Usyk goes on. If he has a fight Hrgovic, if he doesn't go into the fight with Tyson Fury, then Usyk should beat Hrgovic. If Usyk has to go fight Joe Joyce because Tyson Fury is still BSing, then that's where Usyk will probably lose. Because I think Joe Joyce may beat everybody. I like Deontay Wilder. Don't get me wrong. If Joe Joyce's chin is what we think it is, that's a problem. That's a problem for everybody in the heavyweight division. But the uniqueness of all this, right, is Deontay Wilder's going to sit back and he's just going to sit there, man. He's just going to snipe whoever's in front of him. And what I think is going to happen, we can come back to this video in about a year. I think Deontay Wilder's going to get that WBC belt again. And he's going to be a two-time champion. And it doesn't matter who it is he fights to get it. Because I honestly think Tyson Fury is going to end up becoming champion in recess. And he's going to have to give up that belt. And Deontay Wilder's going to fight somebody for it. I honestly feel that's what's going to happen. These sanctioning bodies are tightening down on these guys. They're ratcheting down on these fighters, man. And Tyson Fury keeps BSing with holding on to the title, And I get Mauricio Suleiman, man. You know, I call him the nose because he's like Pinocchio. When the man starts telling lies and stuff, that nose is Mauricio Suleiman. His nose, he already got about 6 inches on that nose. But with about the crap he spews to us, man, that nose he just Pinocchio. So Mauricio the Nose Suleiman is letting Tyson Fury do what the hell he wants, and we get it. He can go a year without defending the title. But I think it's at a point where everybody's like, okay, hold your horses. Hey, these guys with these belts are taking it to the stupid. Every 3 months, 4 months, guys should be fighting and defending these belts. What we should be seeing is different champions. Every year, that should be changing hands. Or the champion should be defeating guys, proving that he's the best. And that's not what's happening. Guys get a belt and sit on it for 1-2 years or however long the sanctioning bodies allow them. And if you afford them 1 or 2 years and they just sit on the belt, that's kind of corny. Because really there should have been 6 to 8 fights over a 2-year period with that champion defending the belt. So I think they're going to ratchet down on Tyson Fury. Especially if him and Usyk keep BS. If they don't get that fight going by the end of this year, I'm very confident they're going to force a mandatory on Tyson Fury. They may say, forget this title eliminated crap. They may just force a mandatory on him or strip him. Make him champion in recess or just strip him, okay? And Tyson Fury may play hardball with the sanctioning body and then he may lose. And the reason I'm talking about it, right, and I really try not to ramble on, is because I really feel that here, with time, if Tyson Fury keeps playing around and not defending that belt, I have a feeling they're going to take it from him. I do. And then I still feel, and we're going to find out, he's going to get some pressure from home. Beautiful thing, he has a 7th child on the way. And I really think his wife, and it's more like, hey, be here with us. You know what I'm saying? Be close. Because of all the ups and downs with the birth of the 6th child. And I wish nothing but the best to Tyson Fury and his family with this pregnancy, right? But I have a feeling Deontay Wilder can get his hands back on a piece of hardware, and I think he's going to be that damn WBC belt. And then it's going to just be weird if it happens. And then Deontay Wilder will go on to fight whoever, the unified champion. And this man mess around and become the undisputed. To me, the stars are lining up that way. I'm just watching the movements in the heavyweight division. Everything is lining up, in my opinion, to go the direction of Deontay Wilder. It is. You know what I mean? It is. And something tells me we're going to see it happen. So it depends on who he fights next. If he fights Andy Ruiz, then, cool. That's a step in the right direction. Because if he beats Ruiz, and I tell you what, if he beats Ruiz, and Tyson Fury has to give up that belt, become champion in recess, then that belt's going to go to, I can't see them making Deontay Wilder fight somebody else for that belt. probably go right to Wilder. Then he'd be the champion again. Isn't that amazing? And he would have got the belt without having to fight for it, meaning it was to return to the rightful owner. And I really see that playing out. But, you know, that's just a conversation I'm having. But a guy's like this bozo right here, what's his name, Ryan Garcia?
Truly gifted. And he knows, obviously, he understands the position he has to be to land a shot. But, man,
like, it's not
that's
his world,
gifted.
right? Like,
that's truly gifted. He can't fight, but he got a right hand. No. But, I mean, Deontay, that dude, he can't fight, but he got a right hand.
It's so...
That's ridiculous. But that being said, man, y'all be cool. Deontay Wilder, I think, is personally on track to getting back to getting a piece of that hardware. But guys are going to keep hating on him. They're not going to get this man the support. And don't get me wrong, hey, if we see some things that, well, I feel Deontay Wilder's taking to the stupid, I'm going to comment on it. But I just think with a guy like Ryan Garcia and anybody else, when you listen to these other fighters talk about Deontay Wilder, they talk with a lot of respect. They understand what he does in the ring. And the fact that he's able to keep his distance and find his range. And, you know, they recognize what he's doing. Like, there's a method to what this man is doing. He's not just in there brawling. So, Ryan Garcia, I'm really rooting for Tank to destroy that guy now, man. He talks too much. I don't like Ryan Garcia. I don't like that. I just think, you know, because even I was rooting for him when he first came out with the whole thing about mental health. I was rooting for him. But he's just gone on, man, and when you get an opportunity to say something about somebody, it doesn't always have to be horrible. You know what I mean? It's not somebody coming from the how he was postured when it comes to his mental health struggles. You know, so I don't like it. But that being said, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans. I think Deontay Wilder's working real hard, and I have a feeling he's going to become two-time heavyweight champion. And the uniqueness of it is I don't think he's going to have to fight for that belt, that WBC belt. But we'll wait and see. That being said, y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.